بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين الحمد لله. So inshallah, last week we talked about ghusl and the method and the full way of how we perform ghusl. Now we're going to talk about the different prayers, their names, rakats of sunnah and fard. So let's move through this very quickly, guys. We've done this before, but it's a review. For Fajr, which is F-A-J-R, Fajr, Salat al-Fajr is before sunrise, obviously, and it's 2 rakats of sunnah followed by 2 rakats of fard. And if anybody wants, you can watch this video later for more details of it. But it's 2 rakats of sunnah followed by 2 rakats of fard. Obviously, when we say 2 rakats of sunnah and fard, they're prayed exactly the same, but the intention is different. Allah holds you responsible for the 2 rakats of fard, but you should pray the sunnah, but you're not held accountable for the sunnah. Is that clear? When we say sunnah in fiqh application, we're talking about recommendation, rewarded, but if you leave it off, it is not sinful. Is that clear? Unless you leave it out as a whole lifetime style of habit, then it's bad. Okay? But what your concern is, fard, obligations, right? So for dhuhr prayer, there's a difference of opinion between the scholars. The school I teach here, the school of Imam Sayyidina Abu Hanifa radiallahu anh, we say it's 4 rakats of sunnah before fard of dhuhr. 4 rakats of sunnah, and they're prayed 4 rakats all together, non-stop. And each rakat is prayed Fatiha and another surah in all of them. If you forget the second surah and the third or fourth rakat, you have to do sajda salah because you missed the wajib. You already know that, right? To read Fatiha and another surah is wajib in the first 2 rakats of every fard prayer and every sunnah prayer, every rakat of a sunnah prayer. You guys understand what I'm telling you? So in every rakat of a sunnah prayer, you need to read Fatiha and another surah. Can you repeat the same surahs over and over? Yeah. Not a good habit, but it's valid. Okay? So you pray 4 rakats of sunnah. After the sunnah, pray 4 rakats of fard for dhuhr. Dhuhr is 4 rakats of fard. Followed by 2 rakats of sunnah. What is the total rakat number here? Total fard and sunnah. Dhuhr. Together. 8 or 10? 4 plus 4 plus 2? Dhuhr prayer total is 10 rakats.
Wait, so Dhuhr is 4?
Yeah, no. Dhuhr prayer, I know none of you do this here, by the way. I'm not dumb. Maybe one of you here might do that, maybe 2. But you're supposed to pray 4 rakats sunnah, 4 rakats fard, 2 rakats sunnah. Gives you a total package of 10 rakats. Dhuhr is supposed to be 10 rakats. Most people don't pray 10 rakats, they pray 4 rakats. Which is fine, because unfortunately we live in a time now, if people are even praying the fard, we should be happy. Most people are not praying for dhuhr at all. They're in school, they're at work, they just don't pray. They'll pray whenever they feel like it. That's not right. You have to pray on time. It doesn't matter you're a doctor, you're a pilot, you're in the army, it doesn't matter what you're doing. When it's time to pray, it's time to pray. Unless you're sleeping, which you're not held accountable for. Unless somebody wakes you up, now you're in trouble. Right? If you're sleeping, you get up, the guy's like, you didn't pray. I was sleeping. Angels do not record a sin on you if you're sleeping. Is that an excuse to get out of Fajr? Well, kind of. If you're not awake at all in Fajr, you're not held accountable. But if you hear people are up and they're going, Allah and you heard that, and now you throw your blanket and turn, you've committed a sin. Not good. Got it? No, you cannot hold the blanket and say, I'm sleeping. It doesn't work. You got to get up. Okay? The best thing to do for Fajr, you got to sleep early. Which a lot of you kids don't. I know. Next is Asr. Asr is 4 rakats fard. 0 rakats of Sunnah. Asr doesn't have Sunnah. There's a light Sunnah, but that's not our concern right now. Then next prayer is Maghrib. Safi, you better be writing them down. Maghrib is 3 rakats. 2 rakats Sunnah after. Giving it a total of 5 rakats. Maghrib.
Yeah.
3 rakats fard, 2 rakats Sunnah gives it 5 rakats total.
Is it an after Sunnah or before Sunnah?
After Sunnah. There's no Sunnah before Maghrib. Unfortunately, you walk in a masjid when it's Maghrib, there's always people praying. I don't know what the heck they're praying. There is no prayers before Maghrib. Okay? Some schools allow a couple rakats, but we don't live in an age where anyone follows any school anymore. You just feel like praying. They walk in a mosque, they think you can just pray anytime, every time you want. You can't do that. There are no prayers before Maghrib, there are no prayers after Asr. Okay? If you prayed Asr prayer, you walk in a masjid, you don't pray. You just go sit down. There's no prayers after Asr. And there's no prayers before Maghrib. Is that clear? If you walk in a masjid, it's Maghrib, you see people praying, don't pray. Don't do what everybody else is always doing. Especially in masjids in our time. I used to watch the sun as it's setting in the last minute, and some guy walks in the mosque and he says, Allahu Akbar. What the heck are you praying? You're not allowed to pray at that time. It's forbidden. In the Shafi madhab, they allow it. I know those guys are not Shafi. They don't know anything about the Shafi madhab. They're just praying on their own. They walk in, they're like, ooh, it's a mosque. Allahu Akbar. The Prophet ﷺ prohibited praying at the moment that the sun is setting and rising. There's a time that shaitan used to be worshipped. It's also a sign of hypocrites that they wait for Asr so late that they pray right before sunset. That's a sin. It's a sin. And you cannot wait for Asr so late, you're like, oh, I have 5 minutes to pray Asr. You need to make tawbah. You need to say astaghfirullah because you didn't pray in the right time. Asr needs to be prayed right now before 5:45. It's late at around 6:12. Got it? The last prayer, Isha, is 4 rakats fard, 2 rakats sunnah, and 3 rakats wajib. It's the only wajib prayer. Wajib means you have to pray it, you do not have a choice.
So
9 rakats. 4 plus 2 plus 3 equals 9.
Are you allowed to combine prayers in the Shafi madhab?
You are allowed to combine prayers in the Shafi madhab if you are traveling a distance of more than around 48 miles.
So, if we were, if we were to travel and we have to combine prayers, is it okay to abide by the Shafi rules temporarily?
Yes, you can, if you need to. If you feel that you're going to miss your prayer, it's a real big hardship for you, it's very difficult, you really need to take this other ruling, then you can. But you make intention to follow Imam Shafi. If you guys keep learning with me, inshallah, I can teach you enough that you'll know what to do with that. Okay? We'll discuss this next week. But the Shafi madhab has conditions. You need to make sure you follow those conditions of the Shafi madhab when joining prayers. For example, you cannot pray Dhuhr, eat more chips, and then come back and combine Asr. You can't do that. It has to be Dhuhr, Asr, together, bam, one after another with no interval. You can't take a break in between. Right? There's all these conditions. But if you can avoid it, at your best, you should. As much as you can. I never combine traveling. Ever. Unless we did once in Mecca. But that's it. But we repeated it. If you can avoid it, avoid it. But if you need to take another opinion, as long as it's within the 4 madhabs, you can do that. Which is great. Right? You're allowed to take another view of another madhab if you really need it in your life. And it's just not combining prayers, there's a lot of other issues sometimes, you know? For example, the Shafi madhab says that having a beard is not wajib. So that's a really good opinion for people that get up in the morning and put their little shaving shells and then they shave, they go to work without any care at all about what the Sharia says. The Sharia says actually you should have a beard. But there's different opinions. Some said it's sunnah, some said it's wajib. So if somebody does that because of work or whatever else, they should make an intention, Allah please forgive me, I'm going to follow the Shafi school on this issue. You see that? Then inshallah it's good. But if all four schools say you cannot do something and you're doing it, then you might be in big trouble. You cannot do that. Make sure at least one school allows something. But for you guys, you're not allowed to shop because your knowledge of fiqh is not at that level. You should always follow Hanafi madhab, always. Unless your parents, inshallah, have enough knowledge to guide you in that and give you another opinion. Yeah.
Well, I should have a question. Which are the higher status, the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam or the prophets?
The prophets are first and foremost. After them are the Siddiqeen, who are ulama amilun, they're the scholars. Well, in our aqidah we would say the best after the prophets are the companions of the Prophet. And then the tabi'een and then onward, the first generation, 3 generations of Muslims. However, like who's the best in this room? Inshallah, maybe Maya. Maybe she's the best. Maybe Safiya. No, you guys laugh now. I can see she's going to be, inshallah, great when she gets older. Maybe Bilal is. Maybe it's going to be Shaykh al-Islam. Maybe it's going to be the most pious. You don't have to be a Shaykh Imam to be the best Muslim at all. In fact, most Shaykh Imams are not great Muslims. I'll tell you. Okay? They're going to be held accountable even more before Allah. Maybe you're going to be a nice guy or girl. You wake up every day. You make some tea. You pray like 20 rakats at duha time. You make some food for your family. Make delicious food to make them happy for Allah. You do your dhikr. You have a good heart. You don't hate anyone. You love Allah. You walk around the trees. You're looking at trees and birds. I love Allah. And another guy's at work just, I hate my life. I hate my job. I hate people. I hate everyone. I hate my community. I hate my imam. I hate Muslims. But there's people like that. Just not happy at all. Right? If you're happy, it's because Allah is happy with you. Did you know that? If you're happy with Allah, it means you're happy. It means Allah is happy with you. If you remember Allah, it means Allah is remembering you. If you're going in the right path, it means Allah is guiding you. Right? So it's a good question. But now, we don't know who's the best. We don't know who's the best in this room. Inshallah. Am I making dua I'm the best? Of course. I have to make dua. But do I believe I'm the best? No. If I believe I'm the best, then I'm a shaitan in this room. May Allah save us all. If you want to believe you're the best, you're the worst in this room. The one of us who thinks I'm the worst in this gathering is the best before Allah. That's such a great thing. I mentioned in my khutbah today. Such a good thing to tell Muslims. The one who thinks he's the worst in our gathering, he's the best with Allah. They're like, huh? How does that work? Right? You confuse Muslims. The people who come to Jummah prayer, the one who believes, I am better than at least that guy. And I'm better than those 2 guys, but I don't know the rest. He's in big trouble with Allah, or she's in big trouble. There's sisters that come to me, they do their hijab really well, they come to Jummah and then they're thinking to themselves, I'm the better Muslim. Then they see a sister come in with jeans and maybe a hijab is not perfect, and then they look down upon it. They look at him like, stop. Definitely better than her. And the one who comes in with that, she's in her heart going, stop, I'm the worst here. What's worse? Having arrogance, disease of shaitan, or not wearing the best clothes for a prayer? Arrogance. There's no hadith says you didn't wear the best clothes, you're expelled from paradise. But there's a hadith says you actually have arrogance, you will not enter Jannah. Dangerous, isn't it? Although for women in particular, they're prohibited to going for Friday prayer and prohibited from going to any prayer, if at all, they deck themselves out and try to get attention. That's not good. If you can be as ugly as you can going for prayer, it's more rewarding. So no makeup, no perfume, just cover yourself, grab a couple of blankets from the house, come to the prayer. No problem. That's actually a good thing. But if you got mini skirt, tight clothes, makeup, all this stuff, then you just put a hijab around, please, for God's sake, don't go to the masjid. I promise you. Because by not going, you're getting more reward. By going, you can actually get worse reward. But for some reason, everyone thinks it's okay, but it's not okay. Have adab. Just like you don't go to the graveyards, you don't go to grave visit somebody who's passed away with bad etiquette. You don't go in a shorts and a tank top like you're playing basketball to the graveyard. No, you have etiquette. You don't go to the dojo for martial arts. You don't go in there wearing, a suit and tie. In Canada, I was working out in this gym, and this guy used to walk in with dress pants, dress shoes, like black dress shoes, long sweater, and he would work out. He's kind of crazy. So anybody looks at him, he used to look at him weird, and I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? Everybody's looking at him, what's wrong with you? You don't wear that to wearing out. At least change your shoes. Yes, Judy.
For the arrogance thing, is it so you don't, you're going to be in big trouble if you have arrogance for Islam or for anything?
When you have pride about Islam, that's not called arrogance. That's called izzah. We believe we are better than the Muslims. We believe our religion is better, not us. I cannot believe myself I'm better than Mikey down at the gas station over there. I can't believe that. Because maybe he's going to become Muslim and be much better than me, and I could, God forbid, la qadarullah, I may be the worst before I die. I can't judge that. Allah judges that. But I cannot believe Mikey there at the gas station who's an atheist, and I don't know who's on a better path. That's ridiculous. My religion, my path is the best. And I have pride in my religion. You can have pride in your religion. I'm a Muslim and I'm proud of it. I'm the best God created if I'm a good believer. No problem. But just don't believe you're so awesome. Don't have arrogance like that. Be humble. Allah loves those who are humble. The Prophet ﷺ was the most humble person, though he is the greatest of God's creation and he knows that. How do you do that? Is you realize it's all from Allah. You realize it's all from Allah. And with Allah, my Shaykh told me the closer you are to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not distance-wise, but the closer you are in your greatness with God, the more you lose yourself. So you're humble and you don't even see how great you are. And to the extent of how lost you are in the presence of God will be to the extent of how great you are with people. Okay, let me make that more simple. If you are a super, super good Muslim, you start to think about God so much, you don't think about who you are. You start to pray and read Quran and seek knowledge and do good deeds to such a point, you just don't see yourself special. You're too busy. You're thinking about Allah all the time, not thinking about yourself. Okay? So this fiqh lesson has gone on. The last prayer, which is with the 3 rakats, inshallah. Our time, the first class went on too long. We need to next week, inshallah, start exactly at 5. So we have time to cut off both classes at half hour. Inshallah, the great questions. Next week, we're going to have, instead of fiqh, we're going to have about half hour of discussion, open discussion. So any questions you have, inshallah, I am going to ask all of you to at least write 2 questions you have this week.
Just random questions.
Not just random. Who's a better Muslim if they were Muslim? Michael Jordan or LeBron? Well, LeBron maybe because he has a better beard. I mean, not stuff like that. Okay?
From Islam.
Yeah, from Islam, things that you've always been thinking about. Like Bilal has been thinking about that. You know, things in his life. Not just, who's stronger, Omar or Abu Bakr? Not stuff like that. But just things in your life that you really need. Okay, we're going to break there. Wa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.